Alrighty, welcome back, everybody. We've got two more matchups for you, but before we can get to that final one, we got to get through this. My name is Artie. I'm joined here with Rio, and we're about to jump in to the lower bracket finals. That's right. It's going to be the team Scallywags up against Team BURTS. That's going to be two of the highest tiered teams here, and I think that if chat wants to make their predictions right now, this is probably going to be the first, like, pure 50-50 split here.
Yeah, I really don't know who to root for. I mean, this is we've seen great play from both teams, and I think Scallywags really have a lot that they bring to the table, and Burt will just kind of have to fight off of that.
Exactly. And the biggest thing as well is going to be that if the Scallywags want a chance to get a rematch on LRC in the grand finals, they gotta go through BURTS first. And that, combination of Sueco, Z, and Chickpea are going to be a very strong force to deal with. That being said, these teams have scrimmed against each other many, many times. And so that means that the Scallywags and BURTS, they know how each other play almost better than I think any other matchup that we've seen in the Breakout Master Series so far. So let's go ahead and look at the map bans. Soul being banned by Scallywags, this is not going to be a surprise to anybody because you don't ever want to get caught out on that hospital point. Monaco being banned by BURTS, neither here nor there. This is going to be pretty much what we saw last time with Scallywags picking up Skyway. This time it's BURTS taking up Sis Horizon and Las Vegas for the decider.
Yeah, it's really interesting to consistently see Souls kind of banned, but Skyway Stadium, always my favorite, probably to watch. Sis Horizon really followed closely, and Las Vegas, probably one of the hardest maps in my opinion. So it'll be interesting to see where they take this, and I have a feeling that if there's two teams that are going to take it to 3 maps, this is probably it.
Oh, 100%, especially given the fact that we have such a good chance here to see Kelcam versus Chickpea, light versus light. Like this, like these are two of the best light players in NA. And so if we can actually see Kelcam on light going up against Chickpea on light, it's going to be one of the best broadcasts in history. Not only that, but if they both decide to play off of their main light and they go medium, then this is going to be a massive battle to actually see. I think that if you're a developer from Embark Studios, this is the match that you want to watch to figure out what needs balancing, because both of these teams are going to be using everything in their arsenal to get a slight advantage. I'm talking, if they have a 1% chance to deal maybe 10 more damage, they're going to push that, because all they need to do is find a weakness and exploit it on the other team. So, especially starting on Skyway Stadium, we're going to get long open sight lines. We're going to get very interesting open cash outs to fight over. There's just tons to see here.
Yeah, I just can't wait, especially if we get a light versus light, off, get to see the two lights fight each other, see if they're able to jump around, viz, whatever they do to just kind of get in and out of those situations will just be, perfect. I think you said it right. If Embark is watching, this is the one to watch.
Yeah, and again, I think that on Skyway Stadium, to start off with, there is a very good opportunity to see that light versus light gameplay, but it is also just as possible that we won't be seeing any light players at all. I think that Kelcam is too good for that, though. I think Kelcam is going to lock in on the light player and pretty much make it one solid LH1 demonstration, right? Or if he goes for the MP5, which I think on Skyway Stadium, it's going to depend on how you decide to approach it with your team, whether or not you're going for the MP5 or the LH1. The other thing as well is which version of Skyway Stadium is going to determine it, because as soon as it gets the up, down, left, right, tons of people will switch off of the LH1 and into the MP5, just because the fact that if you really want to go and push into those floating platforms, you're going to need an SMG to do it.
Yep. Oh, we got 3 POVs. Nice.
Alrighty, so we look up at the top, that's going to be Scallywags, Elvin, and at the very bottom we got 2 POVs from Team BURTS, and this is where things get interesting. It is going to be double medium, so we don't see any of the light gameplay here. Instead, Chickpea on the medium, insane gameplay. Kelcam on the medium, insane gameplay. This is going to be fun.
Yeah, it's probably the safer option, but still exciting to see.
Alrighty, getting started now. Chickpea and Z. Let's see how they make this approach as Vault 1 spawns all the way up at the top of the floating platform on top of the office building. It looks like Cash Out A over at the hospital might be where they want to go. But the question is, with them in control of the vault, where will Scallywags try to gatekeep them from? They have the option to gatekeep from the center and then pad over to either the hospital or the park, depending on wherever BURTS decides to take it. And I think that instead of doing that, they tried to push over to Cash Out A very early on. This gave BURTS the perfect opportunity to just pad over to the other side and go for Cash Out B. This means Scallywags is going to be a little bit behind here as the vault gets inserted and BURTS gets started off.
Yeah, and we are seeing the suspended structures, which I always think is interesting because it just makes it so much harder to push into and then take down the entire structure. And really
right under.
Really good gameplay. We see them pushing in. We see Elwin, and they're kind of keeping their distance for now. I think they're trying to go for a kill if they can get double healer. There's a jump pad near it, and they're hopping on. They're keeping their distance.
And this is where we can see BURTS sort of trying to maintain control because they know that if they do lose control, it's going to be harder to get it back from this team. So we're just seeing Elvin and Kelcam try to hug on Gremlin and just keep him alive, keep that heavy damage flowing, and as soon as they can get one player to half HP, they can just pad over an RPG. So we are going to see Z taking a little bit of damage that doesn't get healed up. It's not enough for them to push on. That being said, Scallywags still is working on this approach right now. And there we go. BURTS is going to be padding off the sideline here. A little bit of position trading is going on as Gremlin drops down to half HP. Elvin and Kelcam both follow to half HP. But look at this. Elvin loses his footing on the moving platform there. Has to approach from the bottom, but it's going to work out. He takes out Chickpea. He's got a back sight line here, but it's Kelcam and Gremlin are also down. He needs to go for the res. He picks up a res onto Gremlin, and now it is a 2-on-2 situation as more reses come through on the other team as well. BURTS and Scallywags really both fighting for any in here, but Scallywags will be able to go for the full reset.
Yeah, the Scallywags are going to get it back, but I think that they need to jump on the Cash Out right now. Otherwise, they're just going to lose it. Can they break through this defense? Is what we're about to see. We see Elwin trying to push in.
He goes down. It's going to be difficult
I don't
now
think they
for
have enough
BURTS,
time.
but they have the drop. They have the drop. Scallywags, yeah, you're right. I don't think they have enough time for this steal. They're going to try. They might have a millimeter. They might have a millisecond. They do. They took it. They had the time, and BURTS slightly misjudged that. If they had dropped it even just a second later, that might have been enough. But unfortunately for BURTS, Scallywags had the timing perfectly. That was such an even team fight, and BURTS, they let Scallywags get the full reset, and that was their detriment.
Right away.
Yeah, really great gameplay.
Because they're going to force the
I love seeing it come down to the
not bad
last
because we can
second.
also
That's
drop
where the
it.
excitement is. It's like, are they going to get it? And they
Especially because we have
did. They pulled
barricades.
it off.
Yeah, we can definitely drop C. I think both of these.
Can we force them to...
They're just sitting down the pipeline.
We see both teams setting up. Scallywags have control over the cash box, over the vault. They are getting some chip damage on the BURTS, causing them to fall back, reevaluate their position, get set up again. But I bet you the Scallywags
If
can
you want to
get
play
this
A, we
to
can
the
throw it to
vault,
them.
as long as they don't go to A.
That's the issue.
Absolutely.
I mean, it's not like we're
Once
doing it on
Vault
purpose,
2 starts
which
to
is
move over to the
playing the
sideline
game.
here, we actually see
worry about that
the
stuff, just play the
exact
game.
same thing that we had at the beginning of the game, but team swapped, because now it's Scallywags up on this position, and it's BURTS over on Hospital. And literally the exact same thing is going to happen this time as well. Scallywags are going to drop off the sideline here, forcing BURTS to rotate. But I think that this is an intentional play, because neither team wants the Hospital cash out to be triggered. So they just need to defend that cash out specifically. Force the ball to go into the other area. And that's what we're seeing here. And now we have Scallywags with the opportunity to maintain control, but Gremlin almost goes out here, but it's not going to be enough. BURTS very nearly finishing it off. Look at that. Gremlin is able to get healed up. Kelcam goes out. Elvin needs to go for the res.
No.
Yeah, a lot of fighting happening just over this vault.
Okay.
Wow, that
Oh, a
RPG.
little bit of a miscommunication there as Gremlin takes the trophy away from Elvin as he was about to get the res. That caused Elvin to miss the opportunity, and Elvin gets taken out. That was such a small breakdown of communication, but it
His
cost
jump
them the
pad,
team fight.
Like, I wouldn't expect this. Don't coin yet. Don't coin yet.
I am going point. I thought he was gonna chill in the building. Or
Go
if
left,
he
go
was
left,
able-
go left under.
Yeah.
So the
Go
vault
left under, so
started,
then
the
I can
cash out
coin.
started.
Okay, I'm coining now.
They're gonna have to do everything they
Oh,
can to
shit.
get over there and just kind of get onto the
Should
point.
be good.
We see quite a lot of distance, and they are split up shockingly quite a bit. And the defenses go down. They are standing on top of that suspended structure, which I love it when the whole thing falls down, and then it's just a chaos of rubble, and people just trying to get into every little corner they can to get the cash out.
Exactly, and check this out. Kelcam, Gremlin, Elvin, they try to make their approach here. Elvin gonna be doing what he can to just mitigate the RPGs coming in, but unfortunately, he doesn't get his APS down in time and instead is gonna eat that RPG with his whole mouth. Now, we've got the reset coming through. They do manage to heal themselves back up,
You can go
but
from the
this
right side
means that
maybe and
BURTS
jump pad
remains in
or
control.
sip right now.
But
We gotta be fast.
remember
we gotta
last
be
time,
fast.
BURTS remained in control for 99% of the cash outs life the first time around. All Scallywags needed was that last 1%. That's what probably going to
They
happen
broke
this
the
time as
fucking
well.
jump pad,
What
bro.
Scallywags is banking on, BURTS needs to win a team fight early to prevent this from happening. And they start off not very strongly. They lose Chickpea. Chickpea will get revived here, but this Gremlin goes out as well. Chickpea, first thing he needs to do once he's up is actually to get the res back through. They're trading damage, trading fights here. BURTS still in control here, but slowly losing footing as the team fight just chips away more and more
I'm gonna go
at
steal. We got a lot
BURTS'
of
final
time.
members.
Good job.
Swaco goes down, and there goes Z.
Yo,
That's a team
I
wipe, and
literally was so
Scallywags
late
going to
'cause
be
they
able to
broke
steal
the
this cash
jump
out
pad,
and steal
I had to
map
go all the
one.
way
I think
around.
so, yeah.
I had no movement.
Really, the pop
Fucking
killer
job,
just
guys.
came in handy. There were so many times that they were down to just a quarter health, and Elvin
they're not-
came
they
in
weren't
and just
ready
kind
for
of
this
healed his
comp,
teammates
bro.
back. He was able to get enough distance to save himself
They were
and
not
his
ready for
teammates.
this
So
comp.
was that
Fucking
teamwork
job.
that came through, saved them in the end.
Absolutely. And now as Scallywags walk away with 1 point here, you know what that means. All they need to do is take one more map. But hey, this is pretty insane because remember, two of the best light players are on medium.
Yeah.
Maybe this is a sign for BURTS to go back to light.
Yeah, I'm curious to see if we see any changes in the next map. If they run the same loadout, it'd probably be the exact same match that we just saw. It was really close, and you can tell that both of these teams are pretty much at the top of their level. Every fight came down to just timing, spacing, in really low health at the end of every fight. It was great to see.
Exactly. It's that song and dance of trying to get someone at half health, keep them at half health so that they can't just get healed right back up, get your gun reloaded, and push in time to just get your advantage and possibly win a 1v2. And unfortunately for BURTS, Scallywags just has the ability to do it a little bit more efficiently and a little bit more consistently. So as we get ready to go for map 2, I'm excited to see what these teams will pull out, but we'll be on a small break until then.
No, 100%. You're good with it? Yes.
Already
I
loading
wouldn't if I
into
was
map
fucking good
2.
with that.
They don't want to waste a moment. Now, we're going to be watching this again. We see Scallywags on the double medium.
The F-car is
BURTS
so bad now.
possibly
Shit is
still
horrible.
holding on.
It is not the best gun. Close right, I think.
Yeah, and we see them kind of charging towards the vault. Nobody is on it yet. Actually, I take that back. It looks like the Scallywags have taken to opening it. Both teams are playing really tight together, and that's always good to see. I think the more that you spread out and the more that you get isolated, the less of a chance or the more of a chance you have of just kind of losing that important teammate and just kind of not able to come back in time.
They're up here. They're up here.
Exactly. Well, we are going to see how the double healer goes through.
Yeah,
Look at that
I'm on.
insane zip line to try and take a little bit of space. They get the separation working. Elvin goes down. That's going to be one less healer on the side of Scallywags. And we can also see there that as Kelcam and Gremlin try to go recover the situation, well, when you pull out your defibs to try and get the res on your teammate, that means you don't have your gun out. That's exactly what Chickpea, Z, and Swaco are trying to do. So now what we're going to see is BURTS on their redemption arc.
Okay,
they
we
really want to make
gotta be in the same page.
Yeah, that was
I
an
think if we all
amazing
focus
play.
on
Just
first,
pulling
we
out that zip
definitely
line
win
totally
that.
threw them off guard. You could tell that they just were immediately taking the fight in front of them, and then two people were zipping away and having to really just readjust their aim. It's just really cool to see.
Catch him by surprise.
Elvin is doing his best to take a little bit of extra
If you go to
space
me, I have
here.
a pad
Look
right
at
here.
how he's
not the
positioning
best pad,
himself
that's
to
not
just
the-
make sure that he can keep the most amount of possible
Let Kelcam be there, let
entryways
Kelcam
in
be
his sight lines. But now we're watching his Scallywags
Right here in front of me.
try to approach
Batting on me.
strictly from the rooftops here as BURTS tries to find another
I'm just
off
gonna
angle,
wipe.
and they find it. Z and Swaco immediately doing some massive damage here.
Shoot the red barrel or something.
The double healers are just keeping that heavy up.
The orange barrel open.
They're just making
Where is
fun
he
of him
from?
at this point because they're keeping him alive, just standing on him, not killing him yet. They're forcing
There
him
we
to take
go.
as much time as possible. Because remember, if they just killed him right there, his team, that timer, 15-second team respawn timer, that would already be starting. So instead, take 5 more seconds, take 10 more seconds, wait, make him end his own life so that timer takes longer to tick down.
I think we
And
And
have
now,
a
as the
on-
team respawn comes through, see what the approach
don't
is.
Yeah, and these are just the strategies you only see from the top tier players, top teams that have kind of strategized, have thought about this, they understand every aspect of the game, the respawn timers, and it's just a really smart gameplay, honestly.
It's smart gameplay, and the most important thing
Yeah,
is
they're going
it's
up next.
teams that practice together
Yeah.
can end up playing like this. You cannot get this good at a game without practice.
Yeah, I mean, I have a couple 100 hours in this game, and I can't even think that way, so it's impressive for me to see,
Everyone, heavy,
and
very weak,
really fun to
very weak.
watch.
Oh, and look at this. The charge and slam
Wow.
actually coming through in a match. I can't believe it. Elvin goes down. It's going to be traded out as Chickpea also falls. The res will come quickly for Chickpea, not so quickly for Elvin. We will see the sustain coming through, and BURTS maintains control. Unfortunately for Z, he was reloading through that entire pad. Kelcam is going to be able to get one kill, but he's traded out, and that's going to be the first cash out going towards BURTS, who maintain control, and now we're going to be rushing over to Vault 2.
Yeah, Burt seems like they have come back into this match just angry. They just want to get back and show that they are on top. This match is way more impressive than the last one, in my opinion.
Yeah, see the dope. Yeah, I don't want a. I can set up a rotate. Okay.
We see Burt setting up. They have the cash out vault
Can you
opening.
go to the zip? I have an angle pad off the skew here.
Get the dual view here. He's setting up a jump pad on the goo
Yeah.
so that they can get it and get over to, I believe they're going to go to cash out C almost
I can
immediately.
zip over this locker from here.
Yep, that's a great positioning on that. Setting up the zip line,
They're
going to get
on
over
bridge.
there. They're on the bridge, and they're doing a nice
They're close
engagement,
behind you.
doing some chip
I fell a
damage,
layer
but
below,
we are going to
I got
see
it.
pretty much fighting starting immediately once this cash out starts.
Calf.
They're a little bit spread up.
100%.
You guys
Heal him, heal him,
And-
heal him. Double heal.
Check this out. Elvin, Gremlin, Kelcam, like they need to be a little bit more
Focus on
on
Z
top of
above.
their comms here because Gremlin's
fell
pushing
hold,
in
fell hold,
without
they're right behind
Kelcam or Elvin on the heels.
He
They
still
need to
have.
dedicate somebody to be
He
the
fell, they all
main
dropped,
healer
they all dropped.
when you're in this sort of situation because BURTS, they
at
maintained
60,
control
60.
last time and lost it. This time they're not losing it. They're so preemptive on these gunfights here to drop
He's
through
very
and
low,
get the
he's very low.
separations working. That being said, BURTS finds themselves separated as well. One member of the team all the way up on the 3rd floor while the other two drop drop out seemingly to the abyss into the first floor, and Scallywags can't find them to follow up. It is one member of the team that's down, and they are going to be able to use this opportunity to get the steal here. And as Scallywags now comes to control of the cash out, it's up to BURTS to feel out the way that they need to approach this final team fight on this cash out. If they lose it, no big deal. There's one more, but they don't want to put themselves in that situation when it's on map point.
Yeah, and Scallywags are actually in a really good spot in this setup that they have. They're set up on that top ledge in kind of a real defensive formation, and they can hop over and just see the cash out vault. So I think that they're in a great spot. They've even got the goo barricade. Charge and slam gets a kill. Quite impressive.
One HP.
Oh, I love to see it. This Gremlin pushes through. It makes it very difficult for BURTS to find an entry, and now they're able to actually maintain control of this. There's no time for the next one. So I think the BURTS here, they take the L on this cash out, and they go and control the next vault. Reset your momentum and put yourself in a position of power for the next one, because if you get the team fight here, sure, right? But at the very least, we don't know where that next vault is going to spawn. And if BURTS can try to predict where that is and maintain control early on, they can put themselves at a massive advantage holding the defense on the final cash out.
We should have gone middle map, but it's okay.
And like you predicted, this is going to come down to the third one every time.
They're next to us on my floor,
I think that it just shows that these teams are very evenly matched and makes for some quite exciting gameplay. See them fighting on the bridge. I don't know if this is going to take anybody. I think that they're just going to kind of fight and fall off.
Yeah, this is interesting because they're not going for what I said before about just taking early vault control. Instead, they are really trying to prioritize the team fight right here. And I think that is because the fact that Sueco, Z, and Chickpea, they feel like they can corner them in here and make it feel like they have no way to escape. And that's exactly what's happening. So now Scallywags, right, they're forced to kind of coalesce together in one segment of the apartment, and they feel like they can't actually exit anywhere. We're seeing Elvin try to split around the outside,
like 2 seconds behind
but
you guys.
Instead they're going to try to take this sky bridge, push over to the other side, while now BURTS, they bought the time that they needed to take control of the vault and stay in a position of power when it comes to this next team fight.
Yeah, and I'm pretty impressed that the distance that they're getting on them, and they're still getting kills even at these long distances. Now they're pushing in, goes for the first kill. We see the charge and slam. In fact, again, I don't think he hit anybody. Pocket healing from Z, and oh no, their heavy gets trapped in there. He's going for the revive, pushes in to see if he can grab their medium down. Can't get him down, gets him down pretty low, and Elvin goes down as well.
There we go. Yep, BURTS is going to be able to take control here, and Vault 3 going to make its way into Cash Out A up here in the art gallery. Oh no, they're going to Cash Out D. They're not going to be fighting for the art gallery here. They saw how that went the last time in the museum, this time pushing all the way out to the office. Now, the office building is going to be probably one of my favorite places here, and this isn't even the interior spawn, this is the fire escape spawn. This is so much more difficult to take. If BURTS can maintain control for the first team fight and force Scallywags into a second half time remaining team fight here, this is going to 100% go the way of BURTS. But if BURTS can't get set up in time, they're going for this rooftop peek out here. If they can't get set up for that peak in time, if Scallywags is able to evade that peak, this could be detrimental because this setup is going to take a lot of resources away from that outside holding. Let's see if he managed to get up there. You'll see him come up at the top. But look at that there. Elvin's already pinging for where to expect to see teammates.
Yeah, there's so much verticality in this little office space area. There's bookshelves. There's these really high platforms, and we can see them kind of being forced into a corner. Charge and Slam comes in. Ooh, didn't do much damage, but it did force them to kind of spread out.
Yeah, it did, and that is going to buy Scallywags a lot of space here. BURTS is going to be struggling to get in, but look, that's Kelcam who goes down first. Chickpea and Sueco going down to low HP here, but it is going to be BURTS who comes out on top of this team fight, and this is exactly what they needed. Now, there's only half of the cash out time remaining, and that might not be enough time for Scallywags to come in here. Remember, it's on the outside, not the inside. If Scallywags pushes from the inside again, all BURTS has to do is fall back and get an angle, especially given the fact that Scallywags is running Charge and Slam. They don't have that mesh shield, which means that if they play from all the way out here, which is exactly what BURTS is doing, they can just snipe at whoever is taking their shot at stealing. Also, Sueco has a C4 out, ready to drop the cash out. There is no way that Scallywags is going to be able to come through to this. And if they can, I will eat my shoes live on stream.
Yeah, they're in the perfect position. There's just nothing that you can do. You just kind of have to take the L at this point.
Look at how far the cash out dropped. They dropped all the way out there, and they lose Kelcam, they lose Gremlin, and here comes Elvin also getting taken out, and that's BURTS taking map number 2. No shoes will be eaten on the broadcast today. We're going to map 3.
I kind of wanted to see you eat the shoe.
Well, like I said, when you have that outside perspective, you know, to just understand how these team fights go, this game ends up looking a lot more like chess. I feel like that pad launch was like the icing on the cake for me, because I knew that if they dropped it, it was going to be fine no matter what.
Yep.
But they dropped it onto a pad that launched it all the way out in the middle of the street, and you don't have a mesh shield. There's no recovering that.
Yeah, no, it was really cool gameplay. I don't think I've ever seen anything like that. And it did just kind of throw the enemy team just kind of like, wow, what do we do?
Exactly. And, well, we'll see what they can do in map 3, because we're going to take a small break. And when we come back, oh, it is going to be the most insane map 3 you've seen. So get ready for that. Gamers, we are here. It's Las Vegas. It's 2032. I've just put $20,000 on the line here, and we'll see how this ends up going. We've got Kelcam going for the model. We are not seeing double F-card gameplay. Instead, we're seeing some shotguns.
In the head,
I'd love to see it. We haven't seen any shotgun.
It does the same amount of damage whether it's body or head.
Exactly. So seeing Kelcam on the model is going to be extremely fun here, especially because Las Vegas, this is one of the best maps to use it on. When you have these tight corridors, you have the ability to just pop out through a wall somewhere and just do some insane damage. That being said, looks like Scallywags did not get the good spawn here. BURTS will 100% be closer to that vault, and as we can see, the vault getting started out by BURTS. The question is, where will Scallywags deploy their measures in order to maintain control of the vault after it gets opened?
Yeah, and this is the real disadvantage of them running the shotgun, is that it's going to force these close quarter combat fights. And we see them kind of far away right now, and you can get some chip damage away with the shotgun, but it's nothing.
Can you resist the
I need heal. If we hear him drop,
and we see the BURTS are running away with the vault.
They're just sitting metal. No, go away.
They're going to take it to cash out A.
They're right above you. Watch out, if
and I think that they have every advantage right now.
No, they didn't drop yet. Socko, come door. We're going to padding height. 6B, can you pad height?
Yeah, so we're watching as BURTS just sort of they're moving away for this outside sort of angle. They're trying to ambush them out of nowhere. Gremlin goes super low HP, but Elvin is able to recover the heals just at the last moment, and Scallywags picks up the first kill here. So BURTS at an advantage right now, doing what they can to try and get back up, but it is going to be a team wipe here. Now Scallywags maintains control of Vault 1. See which cash out they take it to.
Let's go.
Yeah, I assumed A, but yeah, it seems like A.
We play ultimate height.
Yeah, looks like A, and we hear Elvin make the call to play ultimate height. Very common for,
Can you make a sip to height? I don't want to waste my jump
if
pad.
they were playing on the other cash out, but over here on cash out A,
We should use these
this
tag
might not
glitches
be the
here.
move because when you're holding up on top of this outside, this outside railing here, this is what's most likely going to be aggressed if they spawn the other side, like we can see right now. BURTS is just trying to push up from this up top part. This might be what Elvin really wanted to do, was control the spawns and make sure that when they rotate, they don't go from the top. That being said, if BURTS just decides to go down and go from the interiors of the buildings, assuming Scallywags don't follow them into the building, this will give them a massive advantage.
Come over here. Come over here. Looping,
if they try to drop the cash out,
I agree.
it will not be easy for Scallywags to reacquire their position. And we can see as Chickpea and Swayco are going down, they are going to do exactly that. They drop it down into the bottom floor by the slots.
They're going to jump pad. They're
Steel
going
is
to
going to come through, and Scallywags, they don't have time to come back in and take control. So now they've got height, but for a cash out that's not theirs, they're going to drop in and try to get this steel really quickly, but Gremlin drops down to half HP. They're going to have to abandon the steel for now. Gremlin picks up the first kill, but Z picks up 2 in its place. It's now a 1v1. Z and Elvin. Let's see what's going to happen. Chickpea, will he be able to get the kill here? Elvin gets the res on the Kelcam, but so does Chickpea on the other side. BURTS is going to be able to pick up 1. It's now a 1v1, 1v2, back down to a 1v1. There's so many reses, I can't keep track. Who has 2 people up? Who has 1? Swayco and Z are up, and there's 1 player left standing on Scallywags. He's going to run away here, but Swayco and Z, they have the kill, and they're going to be able to steal the cash out back into their arms, and it's BURTS who maintains position here.
Yeah, that was great gameplay. I mean, we could just see them running in and out, trying to get some distance from each other, getting the reses falling down, and really just chasing and fighting. Amazing to see.
This is some good gaming. Oh, Z with the wave at the enemy team as he drops down to the bottom. That's going to be a strong start for them here. And it could come down to this. If you're Scallywags, you are now sweating because the fact that all it's going to take is 1 misstep and BURTS runs away with the win here. But Scallywags, their team of cool, calm-headed people, they're going to maintain composure going into this next vault.
Oh, they definitely can still get this back, and I think that we're going to see really a lot of challenging gameplay when they come into fighting close quarters and chipping away at their damage.
Exactly. Now, what's really good about this vault fight right now is that BURTS has the ability to remove 1 player from the equation, right? Because the Kelcam needs to get close to use that model. But once they're actually starting strong in this game from that long angle sightline, if they can't pick up that kill, then it just means it's 1 less opportunity that they have. Now, as the cash out gets started over here, the question is going to be, will they find an opening on the heavy? Well, that answers it right there. They do find an opening on the heavy. And Gremlin goes down immediately. Kelcam will drop as well. This just leaves Elvin, which means only a possibility of 1 res here. I think they're protecting those trophies pretty heavily, trying to force in the coin spawns, a soft team wipe here by making sure that the reses can't come through. Elvin will be doing just that, waiting for the coin from Gremlin. 5 more seconds until Kelcam comes in, and then they're going to try to approach from height.
Yeah, just kind of the waiting game, but it really does tick down on the cash box, and it can make it more challenging for when they dive onto it. We see Elvin trying to get some chip away damage. He's hopping down all of the staircases, running up towards it. And now we see Z set up pretty high up. The vault has dropped, I believe, so now they're having to force out of their position. They get the res back up, and Gremlin is down. Kelcam is down to his last health, and that is almost team wipe.
That is going to be a team wipe here, and that is looking so good for BURTS. And this, I think that might be it, to be honest with you, because the fact that Scallywags sent that so fast, they will have a chance at 1 more push towards cash out B, but I don't think Scallywags is going to be getting their LRC rematch right now. They will have 1 final chance at this, but given the timing, they're going to need to win a team fight and get a steal. And if you want to steal, that takes one player away. If you want to heal, if you want to res, it takes one player away. It's going to be pure gunplay from here. Let's see exactly what Chickpea has in store. Chickpea and Swaco going to be going back up to one another here. They're trying to find their entry. Look at the Scallywags. They're starting to steal already. Will they be able to be stopped? They get the steal. They get the steal, but it's already being stolen back. The Charger Slam is going to come through. The reses are coming through. Scallywags, they stay in. I was proven wrong, and Scallywags actually manages to steal the cash out here. BURTS, for some reason, left the scene of the crime, and they were unable to stop the steal. If they had just been in position right up at the top, maybe even with gas, they could have stopped it. But Scallywags stays in the running.
Yeah, that was amazing how they
have to
hopped on, blew it up, pull it down, and they stole it right underneath the BURTS. Yeah, and brings it down to this last cash out. It's all going to come down to this.
I hit the roof.
Yeah, exactly. Once we get into this this first little fight of vault control, right? BURTS is in control of the vault, which is good for them. They can choose which cash out they wish to approach. However, once it comes down to actually starting that cash out, I mean, it could be anyone's game. Right now, what we're seeing is Scallywags trying to find their way to gatekeep, but BURTS is maneuvering around it. BURTS has just made it very clear they're pushing towards cash out C, but Scallywags, they might be doing this on purpose. They might be gatekeeping cash out D the same way that you would see this kind of gatekeep gameplay on Skyway Stadium. So now it's forcing BURTS to go into this garage cash out. And once they actually are they actually juking? They are. They made it look like they were going to C, made it almost all the way there, and now
on the left side,
Elvin's team, the Scallywags, are not in a position to stop this.
Take jump pad and take out the
It's such an interesting cash out too. It's all the way up there. It's hard to knock down, but once you get it down, it really can change the gameplay quite significantly.
And remember,
I thought that the safer option would be to go to C. But
remember, Kelcam is on the model, and so this means that they have one less player that can fight in those long range battles. This is going to be huge right now for BURTS, as BURTS now has look at that. Kelcam goes out immediately. He's unable to do any damage with his model because he has to play from such a long distance. They waste one res trying to get him back up, and he goes right back down. Elvin is down as well. That just leaves the heavy. Heavy's not going to go for the steal right now, so he's going to try to run away. That means Z, Swaco, and Chickpea are all going to try to fight, because if they can get this wipe right now while he's trying to go for the soft team reset, that will cost even more time for Scallywags in the long run. Now, once we get started with the reset, Scallywags is going to have to change their approach. Now, cash out D was dropped. There is a potential here for that model to actually find an opening here, because cash out D is basically inside of the other casino.
Yeah, they're in the perfect position. They're quite set up, and it still is anybody's game right now.
They're trying to use those long sight lines here, but the steal might come through. The body block is just too much. But no, it's not. They are able to, at the very least, hold it and maintain. Gremlin goes out, and now Kelcam is going to be taking tons of damage. He goes down. Elvin on half HP. Gremlin just below half HP. There hasn't been a pickup yet for Scallywags. BURTS still with all three members alive, but Swaco takes out Gremlin once again. No reses in sight here. Both defibs have been used. BURTS is going to use this to try and go for the team wipe here. They need to get the reset in order to maintain control right now. Make sure no soft reset happens. They back up again. They need to stay away from Kelcam's shotgun. But as they make as much space as possible, they're going to be able to open up one more by taking out Elvin. The steal is trying to happen. They're going to stop the steal. The charge and slam happens, but they can't get the steal coming through. And it looks like Scallywags was unable to hold on, and Chickpea, Swaco, and Z, BURTS managed to take the W.
Wow, what a back and forth. I had no idea who was going to take it till the very end, and they even got on the try to steal within the last 10 seconds, and they probably could have gotten it, but they were able to hold it off, and that was quite impressive to see.
Absolutely. It was such an interesting play to see the shotgun come out on Las Vegas, because it can work. But unfortunately for Kelcam, every single cash out was at a disadvantage for that shotgun, that model. And especially given the fact that when you're playing healer, you need to support your heavy. And so they couldn't just separate and go flank for that skirmish route. Unfortunately for Elvin's team, they had to maintain on the heavy, which meant not getting any openings for that model. But still, an insane game between two of these top teams, and that means that we are going to have an absolutely stacked grand finals with LRC versus BURTS.
Yeah, honestly, those last matches were probably some of the best that we've seen all day. So I think that this final grand tournament will be just edge of your seat, completely exciting. So I can't wait.
Absolutely. Well, big shout out to all the teams that have come this far. The last match is going to be coming up right after this. Footing on the moving platform there, has to approach from the bottom, but it's going to work out. He takes out Chickpea. He's got a back sight. I don't think they have enough time for this steal. They're going to try. They might have a millimeter get revived here, but this Gremlin goes out as well. Chickpea, first thing he needs to do once he's up is actually to get the res back through. Their trading goes down. That's going to be one less healer on the side of Scallywags, and we can also see that. Oh, and look at this. The charge and slam actually coming through in a match. I can't believe it. Elvin goes down. It's going to be traded.
So I think that they're in a great spot. They've even got the goo barricade. Charge and slam gets a kill. I don't think he hit anybody. Pocket healing from Z.
Scallywags, a lot of space here. BURTS is going to be struggling to get in, but look, that's Kelcam who goes down first. Chickpea and Swaco going down to low HP here. Look at how far the cash out dropped. It dropped all the way out here. Elvin gets the res on the Kelcam, but so does Chickpea on the other side. BURTS.
So now they're having to force out of their position to get the res back up.
Look at the Scallywags. They're starting to steal already. Will they be able to be stopped? They get the steal. They get the steal, but it's already being stolen back. The charge and slam is going to come through. The reses are coming through. Scallywags, they stay in. And they need to stay away from Kelcam's shotgun. But as they make as much space as possible, they're going to be able to open up one more by taking out Elvin. The steal is trying to happen. They're going to stop the steal. The charge and slam happens.